This could all go horribly wrong at any minute. Hello, and welcome to the 272nd edition of Lewis Black's Rantcast, entitled Ultimate Fighting Championship. Yes, woohoo! It's coming our way. I'm doing this actually before it because I will be performing at the Borgata this weekend. I want to get this done in advance because after I perform there, it's coming back and all of that. I've got to get another Rantcast out, and I don't have the time for that, and I won't be with my schedule. So I'm getting it out now, and I'm sure there'll be other stuff. And you say, why didn't he talk about that? But really, I wanted to talk about this last week, and then got into the adjective thing this week. We're certainly, the Ultimate Fighting Championship seems to be a metaphor because it can't be anything but. It can't be a reality that they're really going to do this, that this is a way to celebrate our 250th anniversary. Huh? Yeah. Boy, oh boy, I mean, right on the money to be able to watch guys, and I guess women, I'm not sure, beating the shit out of each other. Wow, it'll be just a great way to do it. Maybe they'll be dressed in the costumes of the revolution, and that would make it even specialer. Specialer, it would make it special. So I really couldn't be more excited, and I can't be more excited than that even though we're running out of adjectives, we've still got metaphors. And boy, oh boy, we are in the midst here in the country. Not only do we have an Ultimate Fighting Championship occurring at the White House, we have a real Ultimate Fighting Championship occurring at the White House and in the country. Yeah, that's what's going on. We're fighting for the soul of a nation. That's what some people say. We're basically just fighting to get back to fucking normal. All right? Where we actually know what government is. Okay? Where we're able to do it. Where we're not going, well, I think they really cheated on these elections. You can't. Look, okay? This insanity of like, boy, they're rigging the they're fucking with the numbers. No, nobody's fucking with the numbers. How simple is it? Okay, that means you're only the numbers aren't being fucked with unless he wins. I've talked about this before. I think I can't even remember. Only if he wins do the numbers count. If not, boy, it has been fucked with, and people are screwing around, and we don't have time for this. No siree. Boy, boy, why did it take so long for California to count the votes? To make sure no voter fraud took place. Okay? Jesus. It's just too much. And so we got to fight every step of the way. Well, we're going to gerrymandering out things that have been established because it was important to establish them in order for the fact that everybody got represented. Okay? That everyone has representation. Son of a bitch. So goddamn irritating. And that's the reason it's going to be short, because I'm tired of this. I'm just tired of fucking the obvious and that we have to deal with this. All right? Okay? They just have to go, shut the fuck up. You're wrong. Okay? Wow. It's just too much. And we have to, day after day after day, we just got to hope that we don't lose our democracy in the midst of all this, okay? That somehow, that fighting Iran, all of fighting Iran, if that becomes the reason we have to send troops into all the voting places, or whatever it is that people think. But I will tell you this, people are freaked out on both sides. It's too much. Okay? On both sides. One side's worried about there being, wholesale cheating. The other side's worried about there being wholesale bullshit and nonsense where essentially people are being intimidated and their votes taken away just presence of essentially, they had no problem sending thugs to the White House. Do I think they'll have problems sending thugs to places where people are voting? No, I don't know. It's just too much. And I've got too many friends who worry all the fucking time about it. And they have every right to. But God damn it, I can't live in that. All right? I'm going to try to distract myself by getting maybe in early at the Borgata so I can play some video poker and maybe win a little money and just lose, even whatever way, win or lose, that I am distracted from this nonsense and this bullshit. Living through, I'm going to have an ultimate fighting championship. And then he's showing up here in New York to watch the game because Dolan invited him. And all of a sudden, he's a New Yorker again? Jesus. He left to go to Florida so he wouldn't have to pay taxes. He left because he said that people here didn't like him. So now he's going to go there, puff up his chest? Really? Look at me. I'm that Knicks team. It's really good. I know I don't talk like him. Okay? I'm not good at that. All right? I'm just fucking not going to practice it. I don't have an ear for that shit. And I certainly don't have an ear for listening to him long enough to have an ear for that shit. But he's coming to the next game. Okay? It's hard enough for me as a Wizards fan to watch the Knicks win. All right? But, I mean, really. Okay? I didn't come here after years of rooting against them to go, oh, no, now I want them. They're great. They're playing great basketball. I do not deny that. It doesn't mean I have to root for them. They got a gutty team, I'll tell you that. Gutsy, not a gutty team. God, today I'm just a letter off on some of what I've got to say. But son of a bitch, for him to show up in the middle of that, knowing full well that what he will cause in terms of taking away focus from the game and making the moment political, because that's what he does. Well, why do I make it political? Because do it every single day. Everything is political to him. Every fucking thing. Wow. Okay. Let's take a moment and take a look at this. This is, I'm going to stand up. Yeah. In honor of the upcoming Father's Day, this is a part of the Sam Black collection. This comes from a portion of one of his works, and I'm proud to be wearing it, and I'm really proud to be his son, and I miss him. And I may talk about him again, but as for now, I just thought I'd honor him, in case I forgot, because I think it's another weekend until we get to Father's Day. I don't remember, because I don't remember birthdays. I don't remember much of anything when it comes to that. But it's really, he did some great paintings, and he would be flipping out if he, I'm sure he is, if he's watching, except I think he's gone on to do greater things somewhere. But he would be flipping out over what's occurring now, just appalled. I'd like to see what kind of paintings he would draw if he drew realism. He considered himself a hard-edged abstractionist, and just did some pieces that were really lights out. And I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up the $70 billion that was given to ICE this week, or I don't know if it was given directly to them. Maybe it was. I don't know. It was given to the Department of Homeland Security for sure, but I think it was being directed to ICE. That was the whole idea of it. And the Republicans, who seemed to, a few of them had kind of taken their heads out of their asses for just a bit, I thought might realize that this might be a little bit excessive to be putting that kind of money into an organization that was really not doing the job that had been intended, and people were dying on its watch. People were dying on its watch. People were dying on its watch. Do we know that people are dying on its watch? Yes, because they're dead. These people are dead. We watch some of them even get dead in front of us, and it's just too much to be bared or have to deal with. And they don't need, and it's $70 billion. It had all sorts of other uses. Supposedly, they were supposed to be really chasing down the hardened criminals that have been sent to us, and the insane people, the drug addicts, the people who were bringing drugs, all of those people that they had kind of, a lot of them they made up because there were not that many. There were certainly some, and should they have been picked up? Yes. And in light of how many people they're taking into these warehouses, they are warehouses, purchased under the watch of Kristi Noem, somebody you really should trust when it comes to immigration, because she's from South Dakota, and they're so close to Canada, they really understand how those people come through the borders. It's like a sieve up there, and so to give her that opportunity to stop the madness was, she was able to do it by buying warehouses at apparently bloated prices, and who knows where that money went to. And it doesn't really matter because there's so many things going on. We can't keep up with them. And my tiny brain, oh, look at that. Sorry about that. I should have turned that off. But what difference does it make? It probably was some note that I had gotten something wrong, and my phone was just telling me because they overheard it. And they said, oh, that's not right, not Kristi Noem. She's a wonderful person. What are you doing, Lewis? Why would you talk about it in that way? And I'll have to check my notifications to see if that's what occurred. And, if it did, I will get right back to you. Look, it's this simple. They basically were not doing what they set out to do, okay? They set out to look for these folks, and instead, also I'd be remiss if I didn't realize, didn't talk about this, because in light of what's been happening in Newark, New Jersey, right across the river, Delaney Hall, one of the warehouses that was purchased, I don't even know what that sound was, but Delaney Hall, there was ICE was in front of it. There were protests outside of it. These people were nut job communists, Leninists, Marxists, crazy people, just crazy, because they had come over really in the 50s and were waiting for something to protest. It is just unbelievable that he continues, and they continue to use this kind of language when it comes to the folks who are out there. What they're doing is protesting. And what they're doing is protesting what appears to be a kind of an inhumanity to people who really didn't commit crimes, except that they're, and that a lot of them were here legally and are put in these places. And then a number of them who kind of were trying to get the information out that things in there, but they were not getting the proper medical attention. The food was really subpar, awful, really. There was a lot going on that shouldn't have been going on, and there certainly is no reason. But these are for profit. Yeah, what you want to do is start a company of incarceration that makes money, because that's just a smart thing to do, and it shows a kind of humanity, really, to make a profit off of really kind of what appears to be somewhat torturing. They seem to be somewhat torturing people. And do I believe them? Yes. Do I believe those folks who are outside and have heard the stories? Do I believe that something's going on there? Yes, because the Senator Andy Kim, senator from New Jersey, who has every right to go in there, every right, because it's in Newark, New Jersey, which happens to be in New Jersey. And it's in his state, and he's allowed by law to go in there, and they kind of prevent him from going in, and I think they maced him, or they certainly made it impossible, and then he got in, and then they wouldn't allow him to talk to the people who were in there, which is his right. There has to be people overseeing these things, okay? And the people who've come out and said, well, there's been no problem. This is just as good as any prison system in the world. It's just like Papillon that on Devil's Island. It's two cuts above that. It's just, it's beyond my comprehension that this is going on, and that they need $70 billion more to be able to continue what is essentially on one level a kind of a torture, and has undermined our economy in many ways. Do you want me to give you facts and figures? I'm not going to do it. They don't do it. They just go, I saw it, I ate there, I heard it, I know it. It's something that's occurred in my head. I'm wearing these things, a massive kind of a uniform that I have on that is a military uniform, because these people, you never know when they're going to come at you. And they're out there. It's the people who are out there, those Marxists who basically have those signs, and they could attack and hit us at any point. And, and they're not really the people who are really the protesting. These are the people that were brought in from out of state. That's who's out there too, which is where the communists come from. $70 billion at a time in which so many Americans are just getting fucked over. But many people got jobs. Many people got jobs. Many people got jobs. All he has to do is to say nope, as he did in that interview. And I will end with this, that I watched a bit of with him insulting yet another journalist. And the journalist just has to say, I don't care if you're the president of the United States, you can't talk to me like that. Because enough's enough. Nobody does. They just let it, they let him get away. He stands up, I'm not going to take this crap. No siree. All of the stuff that I tell you, I don't have to prove that there was election fraud. I don't have to prove what's going on. Why did it take them so long? I saw that, and that's reason enough to know. You never had any proof of anything, okay? You think those people inside are lying? Or the people who essentially want to keep their jobs, okay? You think the people who want to protect their right to do whatever they want to other people, okay? That they're the ones, I'm not going to believe. I can't believe this administration anymore. Give me one reason I should believe this administration anymore. And do I believe Senator Kim? Yeah, I believe Senator Kim. I do. Sorry. And the reason I believe him is because he went in to ask questions, and they wouldn't let him ask questions of the people who were there. So that's it. Case closed. And I will leave you with this because it's just kind of goes along with everything else, and shows that we're not the only ones who are completely psychotic. A New Zealand churchgoer pulled over for erratic driving told a police to ignore a test that put his breath alcohol level at 3 times the legal limit, because the wine he drank at Mass was not alcohol, but the blood of Christ. Police are awaiting further test results. You gotta love that. He drank the blood of Christ, and that's why he was drunk. He was high on Jesus, and I'll leave you with that. And I want to thank all the folks who came to the show at the Borgata, one of the greatest shows ever, even though I'm telling you this before I've been there. But I do want to thank them for coming. And I do want to say that many people left, their lives changed forever. And what happens if that's the truth? Then I will have to nominate myself for being the psychic of the year. But I do want to thank the Borgata for bringing me back, and I want to thank the folks who showed up in June, and really, I came out to see me even though there was the Ultimate Fighting Championship that was taking place at the White House. So, thank you. I want to thank all the folks who gave in the rants that I read at the Borgata. And so you can hear Sammy in the background. He's really pissed. He thinks that Trump may be the devil, and that's what he's barking right now. Yep, I've not talked about him running anymore, and so I think he may be a little peeved with that too. But let me just say it is a privilege and a pleasure to be able to perform for you and to read your rants. And I really hope that you have a splendid week ahead and enjoy this summer and have some great barbecue this week, because that's what summer's about. All right? Throw something on the grill and enjoy every tasty morsel. That's my advice for this week. James, are we going to be ready to go? Yeah, I will be in a sec. That's James Salkind on the back. He's the one who's sending this out. Yes, and this really does go. We have access to a satellite, and it goes around the world. So there are people around the world who will be watching you, or at least watching me watch you. But I will be reading a bunch of these rants and questions that were sent in, and people. I'll get to it, but this. So it's, and we used to do it all the time, and now that we're back on the road again, doing from much less, because I was doing this every night, which. Was really, it was way crazy is what it was, because it's 2 shows. For those of you who are bitching about, well, he stopped doing the show. Well, no, I'm still fucking working, okay? And I'm reading what it is that really upsets you, because you know what upsets me, fucking everything, okay? So when I arrive at a little village and, and basically gonna talk to you folks, I'm interested in what you have to say, and I'm glad that you've been able to share with me, and I really appreciate it. And so this is going out right now to whoever the fuck is watching, but it will be put on again because there's the Knicks game on tonight. And for those of you who are watching, we're here at the Music Box in the Borgata Hotel in Atlantic City. We begin with Dave Booker. He said, why no merch at the merch table? I wanted a talking bobblehead. So did I, Dave. We stopped making them, and instead we have just a little black box where you don't even need the fucking head. And you'd have to go online to get it. I wish we just can't do it at the, we used to be able to travel and have a merch table, but we didn't. And if there was a merch table out there with no merch, then we were just kind of fucking with you. So I apologize for that. Here's the one. This is from Alyssa Maron. Why do we have to make our gripes your show? We paid good money to see you here in AC. I gave you, Alyssa, a show for an hour, okay? Okay, got it? Now, that's one show. This is a television show now that you're watching, or a screen show, or whatever the fuck you call that people watch on this piece of shit and the other pieces of shit. Different screens. And then this one came in, oddly enough, from Alyssa Maron, who's just bitching about this. And this, you just went to prove my fucking point. It's, okay, smoking is illegal inside public areas. So why is Borgata letting idiots smoke right outside this theater when I have to go pee and walk through their smog? See, Alyssa, okay? That literally went out immediately to the entire staff here at the Borgata, and I'm sure they're gonna get right on it. So thank you, Alyssa, thank you, Dave. And now, from David M. And all of the ones I'm reading, all of them are here in the audience right now. Gasoline How is it possible that every time I drive past a gas station, the price has changed? What is this? The stock market for dinosaurs? I can drive by at 8 a.m. and it's 3:29 and I come back at lunch and it's 3:47. What happened? Did Saudi Arabia sink into the ocean between my dental appointment and my trip to Target? And then they put the price up there in giant numbers, like they're proud of it. Nobody does that with anything else. Imagine if your doctor put a big, giant electric sign outside the office. Physical exam, $250. MRI, $2,300. Good luck, idiot. At this point, filling my gas tank feels like a purchase and it feels less like a purchase and more like making a donation to a mysterious organization that refuses to explain where the money goes. Thank you, David. This comes from Kathy Hellowa. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. The guy sitting next to me has a dad bod. It's like sitting next to the Pillsbury Doughboy. Why do men get away with this? I think you know why, Kathy. Because men don't give a shit. Men don't look in the mirror. They have no idea. Men walk around completely deluded, all right? They think there's something else. And until someone like yourself goes, holy fuck, son of a bitch, but you have to say it out loud, okay? Because otherwise, they're fucking oblivious. And the other reason is because when I lost weight, and people immediately think if you lose weight that you're sick. And that's always a treat. I'm serious. I lost about 30 pounds for a variety of reasons, and people go, is something wrong with you? Do I look that bad? And what did I look like before? A tub of shit? There's a dad bod, and then there's holy fuck. So thank you, Kathy. And on to Dick Key. Can anybody, please explain to me why my toaster needs a Wi-Fi connection? I wake up, I'm tired, my eyes barely work. I just want a piece of bread to be slightly harder and warmer than it was a minute ago. That's it. It's a process we literally perfected in the 1920s. Put the bread in a slot, run hot electricity next to it, boom, breakfast. But no, now I walk into my kitchen and my toaster is flashing a little blue light at me. It wants an update. A firmware update for toast. What is it downloading? Is it learning new, innovative ways to burn my pumpernickel? Is it talking to my smart refrigerator to conspire against my diet? Hey, fridge, lock the cheese drawer. The idiot is having carbs again. I don't need my kitchen appliances forming a union. I don't need an app on my phone to tell me my bagel is at optimum crunch velocity. I just want to push a lever down, stare into space for 2 minutes, and then have a tidy heart attack when the bread pops up. That is the social contract of toast. If I have to create a password with one uppercase letter, a number, and a special character to heat up an English muffin, I'm moving to the woods and eating bark. Unbelievable, absolute madness. Thank you, Dick Key. Thank you, Dick. It was good. Bradley Dyson, I'm a teacher. We have fewer consequences, more paperwork, and parents who hear your child refused to do any work today and respond with, well, did you make it fun enough? Lady, he's 10. If fun was the requirement, none of us would be paying taxes. Your child is not the only one in my class. There are 30 of these little fuckers that I have to make sure that they don't kill each other or me or do basic human functions in society at their age. Fuck. Please tell me I'm not the only one ripping my hair out of my head about our education system, lack of consequences, and the state of our parent culture in this country. Thank you, Bradley. From Harry Arnold. Karen, I'm going to read this at another time, but I'm going to go to Harry Arnold, and it was, who was the first person to figure out oil from the liver of a cod would help sore throats? This question has haunted me since I started the show, Henry, from Henry Carrier. I've waited a long time to come to your live show, but what the fuck? The Knicks are winning a championship tonight. I'm conflicted, can't catch a fucking break, and neither can I. Henry, thank you for sharing. It was fun to read that before I came on stage. I'm going to end with two pieces, and I think you'll see why. This is from Sarah Briggs. Hi, Lewis. I've decided to start my first vacation in 14 years at your show. 6 fucking fun-filled hours to get here. As a lifelong upstate New Yorker, I thought I'd share some thoughts on the lovely state I'm visiting versus my home. Strap in, folks. New Jersey acts like it's the main character of the Northeast, when we all fucking know it's the loading screen between New York and Philadelphia. New York has everything. You want skyscrapers? We got them. Mountains? Got those too. Beaches? Yeah. Farms? Sure. Tiny weird towns where a guy named Earl has been arguing with the same stop sign since 1987. Fucking A right. New Jersey's biggest tourist attraction is apparently looking across the river at New York and saying, see that? That's where the fun is. Now, upstate New York gets roasted by people who've never been there. Oh, it's boring. Yeah. You know what's boring? Spending 3 hours sitting on the turnpike staring at industrial tanks that look like the final boss level of a goddamn Depression-era simulator. Upstate New York has the Adirondacks, the Catskills, the Finger Lakes, waterfalls, forests, and enough natural beauty to make a grown adult put down their phone and say, holy shit. New Jersey has a highway exit every 40 feet and 27 Dunkin' Donut locations fighting for dominance like rival warlords overseen by Fred the Baker himself. And the attitude? New Yorkers know we're fucking rude. We're honest about it. A New Yorker will tell you to go screw yourself and then help push your car out of a snowbank. A New Jerseyan will spend 45 minutes explaining how they're basically from New York and how it should be the New Jersey Jets and Giants. But in all honesty, you can have the Jets. Nobody from New York introduces themselves by saying, I'm basically from New Jersey. And pizza? Please, every motherfucking state in the Northeast has good pizza, but New Jersey people talk about pizza like they personally invented dough. Congratulations, Tony, you folded a slice. You're not fucking Galileo. Then there's the geography. New York is enormous. You can drive for hours and still be in New York. Cities, lakes, mountains, forests, farmlands. It's like 6 states wearing a trench coat. New Jersey is shaped like somebody dropped a mitten and said, good enough. And for all the jokes people make about the upstate winters, at least snow belongs there. Snow in upstate looks majestic. Snow in New Jersey immediately turns into a gray slush puddle that smells vaguely of gasoline, dumpster fire, and regret. Look, New Jersey isn't terrible. It has great people, great food, and some genuinely nice places. But if New York is the loud, slightly insane older sibling who somehow became successful, New Jersey is standing in the corner with their crayon drawing, yelling, "Hey, I did that too." No, you didn't, buddy. Now go sit in traffic and let the adults talk. That's from Sarah Briggs. And we end with this one. Before I do, I want to thank everybody who tuned in out there, and I really want to thank this audience for being absolutely splendid. It's been a joy spending time with you, and I mean that. This is from Jerome Garcia. An open letter to New York. Oh, New York, sweet, delusional, overpriced New York. You've been walking around for over a century, acting like Ellis Island is yours. You put it in your tourism brochures. You claim it in every greatest city on earth speech. You've built an entire identity around welcoming immigrants to your shores. There's just one tiny embarrassing problem. 24 of the 27 acres of Ellis Island belong to New fucking Jersey. That's 89% of the island. You own a building and a dock. New Jersey owns basically everything else. The Supreme Court confirmed it in 1998, and yet here we are, decades later, and New York is still out there acting like it discovered fucking fire. Let's do the math together. If someone owned 3% of a car, they wouldn't get to name the car after themselves. They wouldn't get to brag about the car, beating their little chests and poking their nipples out. They would, in fact, be the weird guy who owns the passenger side sun visor. Congratulations, New York, you own the sun visor. New Jersey doesn't even make a big deal about it. We just quietly hold 88% of a national landmark while you print it on your mugs. We're over here in our lane doing our thing, producing more pharmaceutical breakthroughs, more Springsteen, and apparently more Ellis Island than you. And you can't even acknowledge it. And Lady Liberty stands in our waters. Bruce Springsteen was born on our soil, and 24 of 27 acres of Ellis Island belong to us. New York didn't build the American dream. It just convinced everyone it did. Classic New York. Signed, New Jersey, forget about it. Thank you, Jerome. Thanks to everybody who wrote in this evening. Thank you, one and all. Win big out in the casinos. Good luck to the Knicks. Take care of each other, all right? Thanks to all of you for listening to my Rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy, or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Lewis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me. Lewis Black. Our live rant audio was produced by James Salter. Our theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly.